I own 15 Louis Vuitton fragrances. Today we're just gonna go over, would I buy them again? Yes or no? And my reasoning why. So let's fucking start. So starting off, we have Louis Vuitton Imagination. This is probably the most hyped Louis Vuitton fragrance. For me, it's this weird yes, no. If you have unlimited budget, yes. I prefer, actually, let me grab it to show you guys. I prefer this when it comes to like a clean type of fragrance. I prefer Herbes Tremblantes by Guerlain. It kind of gives it more of that like herbally type of thing on the top. Again, very expensive one. So I actually prefer this. And again, there's so many like interpretations of this that I'd rather have, if I had, you know, a very limited budget, weird limited budget, I'd have an interpretation of this and buy a small bottle of the Guerlain, or just pass on both. So next we have what is my favorite cleaner one from Louis Vuitton, which is Meteor. I've gone through quite a lot of this. This is a very old bottle at this point. The only downside of this is, I'd say this, imagine it being a more powdery, more masculine Imagination, but if you overspray it, it does start smelling like latex balloons. So now at number 3, we have a falling bottle of Afternoon Swim. They don't miss often, but every now and then we do have bottles drop off like that. Now Afternoon Swim is probably one of the most beautiful mandarin orange fragrances that you can find, but the longevity is, as many people say, subpar. So again, what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab that off and you're gonna put a little decant and you're gonna grab that with you and carry that with you. If you love that fragrance that much that you just are willing to pay this much for it, take a decant and just when you're in the bathroom or whatever. Majority of the times the compliments you get on fragrance anyway are always on the initial top notes. So you go to the bathroom, you freshen up a bit, adds to it. Now, a darker bottle, please be careful, these are very expensive. This is Nuit de Feu, however you want to say it, it's de feu, but my French is bad unless the word is fuck. But Nuit de Feu, it's this weird bluish type of bottle. To me, it's a no. It smells like goat urine in an attic on a leather book. So, but if you're into that, you're into that. Now we have probably one of the most popular dark bottles of Louis Vuitton, and you'll see mine. I don't know how well you can see it on there. Let me try and get it to focus. I've used a lot of this. This is Ombre Nomade. Now, to me, this is weird because I don't think I'd wear it much now, but when I first got it, it was when I was working, I was starting a business, I was in Dubai, everyone was wearing this at Dubai Mall, and I just associated it with wealth and a feeling, and now I associate it with this feeling of starting a business and kind of turning my life around in terms of being a very, very broke bitch. So this is a weird yes, no for me. But if you want something that just smells ridiculously strong for a ridiculously long amount of time, then rock that. Now we have, in my opinion, probably the most universal Louis Vuitton fragrance in terms of you can wear this all the bloody time. L'Immensité. L'Immensité is, in my opinion, like soft clean. Imagination soapy clean. This is like, you can wear it summer, you can wear it winter, you're just always gonna smell a refined level of clean. So now for my controversial take, we have Pacific Chill. On me, it smells like cucumbers and a spoiling grapefruit. I'm talking that point, you know when a grapefruit starts to go bad in the skin, you can kind of push it in and it's got that like type of noise to it. Yeah, so on me it's a no, but on other people I do think it smells good. So would I buy it again? No. Could you buy it and hang out next to me? Yeah, if you feel like it. Now, date night, Les Sables Roses. I think as far as date nights go, this might be the best Louis Vuitton type of fragrance. Very, very nice, very, very luxurious oud rose, and a bit more of like a toned down version of what's going on with Ombre Nomade. So next we have my most expensive bottle of Louis Vuitton that's still in the collection because Pure Oud will never come near my house again. We have Pure Amber. This is just straight ambergris, so as a standalone fragrance, you shouldn't buy this. But it is a very, very nice layering fragrance, a very expensive layering fragrance. Would I buy it again? Weirdly, yes, because it just amplifies everything that I pair it with. So yes, should you buy it? No, it's fucking stupid to own a $1,500 bottle of Louis Vuitton ambergris. It's fucking stupid. Now, this is probably gonna fall, so let's try it. That was on me. We have Phantasmagorie, the new Louis Vuitton. To me, this is just a very nice, simple, but yet kind of boring and redundant vanilla. It smells a bit Bath and Body Works. The dry down is a bit nicer. It's got that sweet little almond note that you see in there. But for me, it's just a no because my collection is very large. If you did not have many vanillas in your collection, maybe you could buy it then, maybe you should. But at my same thing is that the price it's at for something that just feels a bit redundant So no. Okay, moving on to the next one we have Noir Monde, which I always kind of jokingly say it's like diet Ombre Nomade. It's like a toned down, still kind of oudy, but I don't think it needed to be in this bottle. Like, I know obviously it's based on ingredients in the Oriental line, but to me, this just doesn't, I associate this bottle with a very different type of fragrance. It's very nice. If you're somebody who wants a slightly different take on like these oudy fragrances from Louis Vuitton, then yes. But again, for me, it's just in that weird, like, maybe, maybe not. So I don't think I would buy it again, but I like the fact that I have a bottle. Now, moving on to the next one, we have Orage by Louis Vuitton. I felt like Thor calling his hammer. The only way I can describe this is if God of Fire is the juicy mango and Gritty's mango oud is the dirty mango, then this is the dirty oranges to the afternoon swim. So it's a more earthy, orangey type of fragrance in terms of that. So I would say if you're somebody who enjoys like the dirty, earthy type of fragrances, yes. For me, it's a no, and the longevity on it again was kind of but it is probably one of the more underrated fragrances by them. Now, a release from 2025, we have Sun Song. So I think of this. I'm somebody who loves Neroli Portofino mixed with Soleil Blanc. This kind of gives the Neroli type of vibe, and if you mixed it with what's coming next, I guess, City of Stars, you kind of get my signature layer. But it also, to me, just feels a bit too white floral. And I will say this, Louis Vuitton did not discontinue this because it was the greatest fragrance ever and they needed to nerf it. They discontinued it originally because it didn't generate the sales that they need. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They know how to sell stuff, they know how to market stuff. This just wasn't hitting, and I think it was just brought back because they saw an opportunity because everyone was trying to buy the old bottles. Now we have City of Stars, which I think this is an absolutely phenomenal fragrance. I mean, if you're like that sunscreeny type of fragrance, it's great. It's a phenomenal gift for your significant other, your girl, wife, whatever, because you can also go in there, grab a little spritz of her stuff, and she'll just assume that her bottle's leaking or something because it keeps going down. But very, very nice. Sunscreen, fantastic. And last but not least, Symphony. So I have a weird relationship with Symphony. I think it's very, very nice, especially on a woman. But I also feel that it's very expensive for something that's very simple. And if PDM have been criticized for their new X-Straight line being too simple and boring for that price range, then why wasn't this? It's very nice. I don't get the longevity on my skin that other people have claimed. Do you?
Yeah.
How long?
So, I don't know, like 5 hours.
Okay, so she gets 5 hours. 5 hours I would not call longevity when it comes to a fragrance. People are claiming they get like 10 hours on this, which I don't get that. But I think it's very nice. I just think that it's very overpriced. So with this one, I give it a from me. So what line should we do next? Let me know. I enjoy this because I do those quick versions for the short format, but at least now we get to kind of go into the reasons why I would or wouldn't buy it. Love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.